Hello, my name is Ben. You might know me as Qualbert. I'm the founder of Qualbert.com. And today is the day the Nintendo Switch 2 is finally here. You can chuck this thing in the rubbish. You won't need it anymore. And I am incredibly excited. We've actually received a press kit from Nintendo containing the Switch 2 and a whole bunch of other goodies. This has long been a massive goal of mine, especially since I started my website, just to get a bit of recognition from Nintendo themselves. As you can see from my background here, they've been incredibly influential in my life, and I've been highly anticipating the Switch 2, so just going to do a bit of an unboxing. We're going to show you what comes in this press kit, and also just get hands-on with the Switch 2 at last, which I'm sure many of you watching this video probably are playing yours right now, and have been enjoying a bit of Mario Kart World, which I'm super excited to play. Massive Mario Kart fan here. So let's see what's included in this press kit. I know it does come with a couple of things. Obviously, there's the console, is kind of the main star of the show, but hopefully we get a good look at the new Pro Controller, and maybe a couple other things that are included as well. And honestly, feels a bit like Christmas today. Had a bit of a sleepless night last night thinking about the Switch 2. Genuinely, it's that kind of excitement that you get when you're a kid on Christmas Eve. Okay, here we go. So, press kit. Let's get all this cardboard out of the way. Rightio. So, first up, we have the beautiful new Nintendo Switch 2 Pro Controller. It is a very, very similar design to the original Pro Controller, with some slight variations, which you might have seen in the preview for it. Yeah, of course, you get a USB-C cable, and here's the controller itself. So let's open it up, have a look. So it's got this two-tone colorway now. Very sleek, like matte finish, actually. Feels really nice. Nice clicky buttons too. And then we've got new buttons on the back as well. And then you've got your C button down the bottom for activating like the camera functionality. And nice new addition, which should have been included in the first Pro Controller, is a headphone jack. So that's good to see Nintendo getting on board with a bit of kind of standard expectations that you see with most other modern consoles. And it's a great controller by the looks of it. Hopefully we don't end up with drift on these sticks. Time will tell. So that's the first item in here. Second up, we've got the camera. So this is the 1080p version of the camera. There is also an official Piranha Plant version of it as well. However, the Piranha Plant version, I believe, is 480p. So despite the fact that it looks really cute in the Piranha Plant design, the quality is actually pretty poor. So let's have a look at this thing. It is a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. It is tiny. Like, reminds me a little bit of the Pixar lamp. The little bouncing lamp that you see in the Pixar intro. Here he is. So let's get it out of this pack. It's pretty lightweight. Still feels sturdy though. So that's it. It's very small. Again, you get another cable. You're not going to have any shortage of cables here. But that's a C to C, so I imagine it's got a C. Yeah, it's got a C input there, which you would plug into the console itself. So cute little camera that does have some compatibility with certain games. Kind of the one they've highlighted has been Super Mario Party Jamboree, which has a bunch of games that utilize the camera and people's reactions. Let's have a look in here. Okay, there's a lot more padding to keep everything safe, but it's the star of the show. It is the Nintendo Switch 2. And this is the limited edition version that comes with Mario Kart World. However, it's not a physical copy from what I'm aware. It is a download code. And I mean, that's not too bad because a game like Mario Kart, you kind of want always readily accessible on the console. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I have played on my Switch since it launched and still have continued to play it. So it'll kind of be good to have it handy. So Nintendo Switch 2, opening it up, you're basically just greeted straight with the console. It's quite a lot bigger than the original Switch. So that's the unit itself. Let's take it out of the plastic. So yeah, it's hefty. Honestly, the screen real estate feels like a fair bit more. And I'll do a little comparison with my OLED Switch in the background there. Joy-Con, so we've got the left Joy-Con, which is a nice kind of simple light blue. And then the right Joy-Con, which is like kind of a pastel orange. So they've not gone for the neon colorway of the original Switch, more like muted colors. And like it's the same on the inside. You're not going to get it wrong this time because they really have made it as obvious as possible. And with the console, no longer slides the Joy-Con on, they actually clip in with a magnet. So that's quite satisfying. That's funny. I actually put it on upside down. So you can still get it wrong, but it comes off very easily. So clips in like so. Feels really good. Actually holds on quite strong too. And then it's got a little release trigger on the back, which, yeah, that snaps off very easily. So there it is. That's the whole unit. It's a lot larger than I thought it was going to be. Like that actually feels really good in the hand. Let's just do a quick size comparison. So here's my OLED Switch here. And the OLED Switch actually is the same size anyway as the standard Switch. So just going to hold them up. We've got the original and we've got the Switch 2. Looks to be, like, honestly, lengthwise, we're talking like maybe 3 centimeters and then kind of a centimeter and a half taller. But just in terms of the screen real estate, you can see it is a lot bigger than the previous Switch. Particularly if you've upgraded from the original Switch to the Switch 2, you're definitely going to notice the jump in size because the OLED does have a little bit bigger screen anyway. So there we go. And it's got the new kickstand on the back. That feels really good. Like, it's actually very solid. You should be able to move that through a range of angles without worrying about it snapping off. So there we go. It looks very sleek, actually. The Joy-Cons aren't as colorful on the front. You get like the little pop of color under the analog stick, but it's got this matte finish, which, I don't know, it looks a bit less fun, maybe a little bit more professional for all those business people out there on Japanese trains taking their Switch to work. We've got a Mario Kart code, which I'm not going to show you because I don't want someone else to redeem it. HDMI cable. We've got the Joy-Con rails. So these are intended for use if you're playing with the Joy-Cons detached from the console or using it in mouse mode as well. So in mouse mode, you hold the Joy-Con kind of vertically. Let's grab one off. There we go. Looks a bit funny with one Joy-Con detached. Okay. Oh, it literally just slots on. And then it's got like kind of little grippy bits on the bottom. So kind of intending it to use like a mouse, holding it like that. We'll see what it's like. It'll be nice to see what games actually utilize that functionality. I think that'll be great for a new WarioWare game. WarioWare generally tends to take the new control schemes of each console and do something really creative with it. And personally, I think it would make for an incredible Katamari Damacy game. Being able to control the Katamari by physically rolling it. Look, Bandai Namco, I'm just saying, that's my idea. If you come up with that idea, you heard it here first. Okay, what else we got? We've got the Joy-Con grip. So they're going to attach to this. Let's just pop them on. Yeah, like that snap is very satisfying. Actually feels really good. Whereas kind of the sliding rails of the previous Switch occasionally felt a little bit awkward. So yeah, really like the feel of that. But again, it looks quite nice. It's got that matte finish, which is a little bit more professional. Again, more cables. That's another C2C that's going to plug into the power supply here. Power supply is pretty small form factor. Feels solid though. Certainly more than the original Switch power supply. I imagine that's probably going to be a fast charge too. Occasionally though, I do use my mobile phone charger to charge my Switch, and it works, but it's a little bit slow. So let's pop that there, and the last piece of the kit is the dock. So the dock does add a little bit of extra oomph to the unit. Some games do supposedly play a little bit better when the Switch is docked. Similar design, so you take the back off. It's got a C port, and then it's got HDMI, and then we've got 2 USB-As as well. Oh yeah, we've got the LAN as well, which was a feature only in the Switch OLED, not the original Switch. And then that's what it looks like on the inside. We might just slot it in. See how it... Yeah, that goes back in quite nicely. The LAN port's actually uncovered as well. So I guess that's just for easy access, I suppose. And again, it's got this matte finish. They really loving matte with this console. Funny, Matt is actually one of the writers on our website. So, hi Matt. Your console is matte. And there we go. There it is in the dock. Looks quite sleek. I gotta say, this is probably one of the least visually impressive Nintendo consoles out there. If you look at some previous Nintendo consoles, which I've got just sitting here, one of my personal favorites being the GameCube. And the GameCube has a very, very specific design. I mean, it's a cube, and it's purple, and it's got a lot of personality. I think it looks quite playful, whereas you compare it to this, it looks quite simple. It looks sleek. Looks like most other kind of ambiguous household devices that might sit on a shelf. Obviously, it's got that Switch 2 branding on the front. I think it'd be nice to see them come up with a few more interesting colors, limited edition designs. I'm personally a big fan of my Splatoon OLED Switch. So, yeah, hopefully we see some more exciting units in the future, and I'm going to get stuck into the Switch 2 now. I'm going to get hands-on, transfer some data, and get Mario Kart downloading as well. And we're going to have full reviews for the unit, Mario Kart World, and also Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour, which I know there's been a lot of controversy about because of the fact that it's not a pack-in with the console. It is a standalone purchase. So tune in for that and see whether it's worth purchasing. I think off the top of my head, it's like 15 Australian dollars, which isn't too bad, but I guess it also depends on how much gameplay it actually offers. So yeah, really keen to get stuck into it. Happy Nintendo Switch 2 launch day to anyone out there who's also getting their hands on the console either today or very soon. And yeah, hopefully it's as an exciting console generation for Nintendo as the original Nintendo Switch was. Obviously, it's been a huge success, and it's really changed up their formula a lot. Nintendo have traditionally been a really sort of handheld focus developer. I'm a big fan of the Nintendo DS, so it's kind of nice to see them go back to that, but also combine it with the power and I guess like home usability of a traditional console. So yeah, that's it. That's unboxing. This is what you get if you're press and receiving a Nintendo Switch 2. I was expecting some kind of nice handwritten letter, but I suppose they've got to send out a whole ton of these, so don't have a whole lot of time for that. But thank you very much to Nintendo for the opportunity to review this. Really excited to play, and if you want to find out more, head to quolbert.com. We'll have some coverage up very soon. Now, I'm pretty busy. I've got to go play, so I'll see you online.